I was born to do this. With those words, Beto O'Rourke became the latest candidate to run for the Democratic presidential nomination. I was born to do this. Arguably a very and even overly self-referential way to launch a presidential race in a year where the national community is worried about itself and the progressive community is worried about bringing us all together. But there you have it now. Beto is already being criticized by those who say that his campaign lacks substance, that it's a campaign of personality and not of policies. Unfortunately, there's some evidence to support that interpretation. For example, his announcement was very vague on specifics, very long on generalities. He does say he won't run a negative campaign, and that's all very well and good, but he was also, for example, when he was asked if he supported single-payer Medicare for all, was evasive in his answer, talking about access and that sort of thing instead. So he's going to be challenged on whether or not he's offering enough specifics for people, and he got himself a little bit owned, I would say, by one of the other candidates, and by that I mean a presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, who, now I took this as an own. She responded with a email to her followers that said, we are facing something unprecedented. A record number of Democrats, including a record number of women and people of color, are running for president now. Of course, notably, Beto O'Rourke is neither of those things. This is greatly encouraging for the future of our country, but there is a long path ahead of us. I look forward to engaging in substantive debates with each of these candidates, including the newest to join the race today, Beto O'Rourke. Now, maybe I'm reading between the lines here, but I do take that as a jab against Beto for his relatively content-free entry into the race. And it's true that Kamala Harris, to differentiate her at least from Beto O'Rourke, has said that she supports Medicare for all. She's also got a couple other concrete proposals on the table. Now, I went to Beto O'Rourke's website when I heard that he had announced his presidential website does not have an issues page. And I think that's a problem. But then, to be fair, neither does Kamala Harris's. So I think if you're going to run for president and you're not capable of laying out on your website where you stand for on the issues, that's a problem. Now, other candidates also don't have issues pages, and I assume that's just because they haven't gotten around to it yet. But I want to see each and every presidential candidate and every candidate for every office tell us where they stand precisely on the issues. It shouldn't be about personality. We have to get past what a friend of mine calls candidate addiction, or others have called the cult of personality. I call it celebrity-driven politics. It's not about them. It's about us. And at the end of the day, every politician for every office has to show that they understand what we all need and that they are willing to work together, shoulder to shoulder with us as part of a broader movement for change. We can support them when they support us.